Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back. Yeah, there we go. Welcome back to what is this? What a Tanks Blitz. That's what this is. And today we're going to be doing a review of this thing. What this thing is, I'm sure you will know, is the BTSV, which is a very rare Tier 3 premium tank, and it's another one to add to my collection. As you can see, I've marked as primary all of my rare tanks, and well, a BTSV is up there. This list is getting smaller down here in comparison to this list, but anyway. So yeah, here in the BTSV, which is on sale. There it is, the Advancer bundle, which includes BTSV with some gold and some premium time. And well, I've got now 5,555 gold, so I've got all the fives. And I've actually gone ahead and put on Verdun Forest because I think that it actually looks pretty nice on the BTSV. But then I was torn between that or Inferno. So what I've decided to do, Inferno for winter and desert maps, and then summer maps will go with Verdun Forest because it sort of fits summer maps. Because Verdun, First World War. Excuse me. Ah, there we go. Sorry about that. I had to. Ah, right. Yes. Sorry, I had to adjust my headphones there. But anyway, yeah, Verdun is a sort of foresty map. Well, map Verdun it was rather foresty before the First World War took over. So yeah, I thought summer map. Why not? But anyway. So a couple of updates have happened, such as these certificates for hours of premium time. So that's for completing other missions, and then these are things that you can get for doing special missions. But as you can see, don't have any except for Supremacy Expansion 5, so yeah, there's that. But anyway, so let's have a look at this tank. Now, 12% protection, 16% firepower, 33% shot effectiveness, and 96% manoeuvrability. So yeah, this is a very, very mobile tank. If you've played the BT7, it's very much like the BT7, but with better armour. And a worse gun compared to the BT7? Well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted Tech Tree. Let's have a quick look here at the compared gun on the BT7, which is 37mm Zis 19, which has got 58 pen. Okay, this is effectively 45mm. 75 penetration. This is effectively the gun that the BTSV gets, which is the 45mm 20k gun, which is alright as a gun. It's not the best at tier 3. At tier 2 it's fine, but tier 3 it's starting to lack a bit if you see tier 4s, which I do believe this tank does. In Blitz there's only a one tier matchmaker spread either way, unless you're a special tank like the Panzer B2, which is only a 0-1 spread. But anyway, so yeah, don't let the protection fool you, however, because it's got 360 HP, which for a tier 3, well, do I have any more tier 3 lights? Actually, yes I do, if I head back down here. So that's 360, this one 390, but then again it is the Panzer S35. What else have we got? German tier 3 light tank. What have we got? Panzer 38T, 330, or with the upgraded turret, 370. What other tier 3s? Panzer 3A. That gets, where are we? 360. So yeah, I won't go into every single tier 3 light tank, but for a tier 3 light tank, it's got a sort of moderate amounts of health. It's not the best, but then again, it's not the worst either. Ooh, fireworks. Yes, this is the winter hangar, by the way. This is a different winter hangar to last time, which is nice. I remember last time it was sort of a couple of buildings, and then you would sort of look down a slope, I think it was. That may have been World of Tanks PC, I'm not too sure, but anyway. So yeah, it's got a fair amount of HP. As for the armour itself isn't particularly thick. 25 front, 20 sides, and 16 rear for the hull. The turret armour is 25 all round. So turret armour, yep, not that great. But then again, it is sloped. As you can see, it's very rounded and slopey, which means that you can get some bounces off your turret. Plus, 25 at the front, raw thickness. Look at that sloping though. If you angle this tank, you can get very good ricochets off of it. Of course, from the front, these are the weak spots, which is this upper piece here. I mean, this slopey down bit is a ricochet zone, especially if you angle the tank like so, then you can ricochet things off your side and your front. But from the front directly, this is the weak spot, which is where you've got these little hatches here. And then, well, the turret is basically a weak spot if you're not sort of moving it or anything. But then again, it is circular, so yeah, there's always that. So yeah, it doesn't say it's particularly thick, but it's surprisingly effective. So moving on to manoeuvrability here, it weighs 13.31 tons with a 500 horsepower engine, which means that it does have a very rocket speed of 62 kilometers per hour. Anyone that's played a BT7 or a BT2 will know of the speed of those things. They're just lacking the armour. This gets the speed and the armour. So there's that. And not only does it have rocket-like speed, it also has rocket-like traverse. 42.02 traverse speed with a 42 degrees per second turret traverse. That means that you can very easily dogfight and get to the front lines and circle people that are less manoeuvrable than you. In your BTSV, which is very nice. So there's the engine. It's a M17FO, which has got 500 horsepower, 20% chance of fire and impact. There's the turret, 236 meters of view range. Meh. Tier 3, meh. It's alright view range. As for the suspension, there we go, 14.50 tons. For a tank that weighs 13, so I mean, yeah, you still have a fair amount of weight that you can play around with this suspension. Okay, so now we move on to the gun. So there's the basics of the gun. 15.32 rounds per minute. I don't know what they've done with the aim times and things. I don't know whether aim times are massively more on Blitz or something. I don't know, but it says aim time 3.3 seconds, but it's like 2.3 or something. As for dispersion, 0.38 dispersion, meh, not the most accurate gun, but then again, not the worst at aiming. And then here's, yep, there's the gun in more detail: 45mm, 20 KL, 15.32 rate of fire, 51mm of AP penetration, which is meh. It's alright, not the best at tier 3, but it'll get you by. 84 with with high explosive. No, I was about to say heat, but it's not. It's APCR. There we go. 84mm with APCR, 12 with high explosive. Yeah, high explosive, but then again, it's tier 3. Yeah. As for average damage, 55, 55, 75. Yep, usual for a 45mm gun. 0.38 dispersion, yeah, 3.3 second aim time. No, I don't know. And then, of course, 250 kilograms weight. So there's the basic overview of the in-garage stats. But stats don't always show everything because, after all, this armor is sloped and various other bits. So if you angle it, autocannons that would normally get through your armor, if you angle it, they'll just bing, ricochet off of your hull. So there's that. Plus it looks rather cool, doesn't it? It's very slopey. So yeah, you do carry 84 rounds of 45mm ammunition, which will be enough to see you through any battle. So you can easily switch up between some APCR and some AP and still have enough to blaze AP for days. So there's that, that's nice. As for the equipment, you can't get an improved gun rammer. So you can't get a gun rammer on this. So I've gone with improved vents for plus 5% to all crew skills. So there you go. It now actually tells you the bonuses, which is nice. That came in the recent update. Then I've gone for the enhanced gun lane drive because, well, I don't know whether, you know, the aim time. They've changed the aim times up and things, so I just thought, why not go ahead and stick an enhanced gun lane drive on it. And then I've gone with coated optics because I didn't know what to go with for the other thing. So there we go, coated optics for me. Then I've gone. Well, what you could go with is a cyclone filter for plus 50% engine durability because this tank mainly relies on its speed. So there's that. So you could go ahead and fit a cyclone filter if you wanted, which will, you know, it'll slow you down slightly in manoeuvrability there, but it's still very maneuverable. It's not going to like drastically change it. Then you've got the enhanced Christie suspension for suspension durability, obviously, because once again rely on your speed. So gonna want the enhanced suspension if you want to just barrel around everything. Then you've got Caminet. Caminet and binos you don't need because this isn't a sniper tank. This is a fast light tank at tier 3. So you're going to want to zoom about. You don't want to sit still with your binos and Caminet. That's not how you play this tank. Although sloped armor does get more effective at range. So it's a sort of risk reward ratio sort of thing. Light spawn learner? No, don't need it. I wouldn't say you need the spore liner plus 15% armor protection from ramming and explosions. Nah, don't really need it. Then toolbox is just always useful anyway, so there's that. Don't just ignore the fire turret traverse and the view range. Just ignore these two bad things because I'm showing it as replacing my coated optics, so you don't need to. Yeah. But anyway, then you've got provisions. So for your provisions, you've got standard fuel, plus 3% engine power and traverse speed, activated automatically permanent throughout battle. Then you've got condensed milk for plus 3% crew mastery, activated automatically permanent throughout a battle, restricted to Russian vehicles only. Then you've got protective kit, which is plus 15% to protection of crew from injuries, 10% to speed and module repairs, 20% fire protection, and 10% ammo and fuel tank durability. Activated automatically permanent throughout a battle. So I don't use provisions, but if you want to, go ahead and put them on if you want. Unlike the higher tier vehicles, these are the only 3 you get, so you don't have to worry about which one you want. It's just whether you want to spend the extra credits to actually put these things on. Now, as for the consumables, okay, anyone that's seen any of my reviews before will know what I'm about to say, but if not, I've gone with the standard repair kit, first aid kit, and automatic fire extinguisher. Automatically extinguishes fire, heals all injured crew, and repairs all damaged modules for the 3 of them. Each of them doing their own individual thing, obviously, and each of them have got a cooldown of 90 seconds, so you can use them you can have multiple uses per battle, which is nice. Then you've got engine power boost, plus 20% to engine power for 15 seconds with a 75-second cooldown. Then you've got adrenaline, plus 20% to load speed, 10% chance of damaging enemy vehicle modules. Once again, 15-second duration, 75-second cooldown. Multiple uses of battle. Then you have one of these, which costs more than one of these individual ones, but can do 3 different things. It's a multi-purpose restoration pack. It extinguishes fire, repairs all damaged modules, and heals all crew members with a cooldown time of 90 seconds. So the idea of this thing is that if you've got this and this equipped, you don't have to only go with one of these things, you can go with one of these, which will do whatever you want it. However, as I don't use these things, I've gone with the 3 regular repair kit, first aid kit, fire extinguisher, loadout, which is what most people will be accustomed to. But with this thing, the reason that I don't use this is because, say you get the track in the open and your track is destroyed, you have to repair it. You've got these 2 things equipped, so you only have 1 space left, and you've used it with this. So you use your multi-purpose restoration pack, bang, repair your track. You zoom off. 10 seconds later, you get set on fire. What do? You can't put it out because you've used your multi-purpose restoration pack. You still have a 90-second cooldown on it. And you don't have a spare fire extinguisher because, well, you've got these two things equipped. Now, these two things are definitely helpful in their own way, but I just don't like using them because I prefer having these three options available to me. So, you've used this thing on your track, you can't put out the fire, you're going to burn. Whereas, if you've got the three of them normally, then you can repair your track with the repair kit and still have the fire extinguisher to put out the fire. So that's why I go with the three regular things instead of a couple of these and one of them. But it's your own personal preference. And, well, have a look at the camos. You got, your standard Russian things. They all look fairly nice on the BTSV. Cedar woodland, swamp moss, forest windbreak. And of course you've got the special. You've got the special Twister Cup camos for the for the different teams even. There you go, to the offline finals of Blitz Twister Cup. So yeah, there we go. And then you've got the Verdant Forest, and of course Inferno and Undeniable Advantage. So yeah, there's that. But as for the crew, I can't say definitively which one is the best. It's all up to you. This is a light tank, so any of my light tank crews, once they're at 100%, will start training my selected skill, which right now is Hasty Shot, which gives a 1% chance to make an accurate shot when dispersion is more than 100% higher than the minimum value. Most useful for vehicles firing on the move. So I've already trained Breakthrough level 1, increases vehicle acceleration by 1% if there are at least 2 enemy vehicles within a 50-meter radius from your vehicle, and I've already trained Soft Recoil 2, which decreases dispersion after firing by 2%. But it's your own personal preference. I can't explain the crew skills and which one is best because it doesn't matter, because they'll still take time to train. So, yeah, I can't dictate what you choose. It's your own personal preference for crew skills. So, overall, this is a very, very quick light tank at tier 3. It's a very good light tank at tier 3 because it's massively fast. It has more survivability than a comparative tier 3. It is, of course, not impenetrable. Yeah, it can still be killed. If you don't angle it or if you get too close to people, they'll just overmatch even your sloped 25mm armor. They can still overmatch it and they'll still go through you. Plus there are still these weak spots here, which unlike the Panzer IIJ, which is sort of the opposite. Because the Panzer IIJ, you've got very, 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 very good armor, which is impenetrable, but with a really, 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 really bad gun. This one, pretty good gun, pretty good armor, but neither of them are particularly OP. Like the Panzer IIJ has got OP armor, but with a ridiculously bad gun. This has got sort of alright armor and an alright gun, so it's the less seal clubbing of the two rare tanks, as it were. But should you pick one up, yes, it's a very nice tank. By the time this goes up, Christmas will probably be over, but no matter. So yeah, go ahead and pick this up when you can, because it is a very nice tank, and even if you don't particularly like light tanks, it's still a rare tank to add your collection, and well, my collection is pretty extensive in the amount of rare tanks that I have. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, so I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.